Hello. Right. This isn't set up as a regular stream. I'm doing this mostly just for a normal video. The reason I'm doing this is because I can bring things in real time that I want to talk about. So I'm not going to be really hanging around for anyone in particular to come into the comments. Unless someone does, then no worries. I will still include that person or people. But there has been some interesting articles and there has been some video clips for the upcoming Chapter 6 episodes. So, me, excuse me, Sam, my fellow co-hosts Sam and Lawrence, we will be coming together, all three of us, on Friday coming to do a live stream, so we can all three of us can have a proper discussion about this as well. But I thought to just take it upon myself to make a video about this in some shape or form and talk about have a look see at the video clips that have been given to us that through Equestria Daily and a couple of articles with some clips and things. So yeah, let's get into this and let's talk about the first article, which has nothing really to do with most of the stuff I want to talk about in this video, but I want to talk about it because it is kind of interesting as to probably why G5 is the way it is. Seems that it's very difficult for the people behind G5, for the writers, to really kind of use stuff in regards to bringing, for like cameo appearances and kind of going back to Gen 4, bringing stuff back. That it seems they are quite limited or have been limited because of ownership between different places. So let's have a look at that now then. The first article I want to talk about, which is don't want to do that. There we go. So let me bring it up. So the first article I want to talk about is this one. Okay. So it says here it's My Little Pony Generation 4 show content is apparently still partially owned by Discovery Family, limiting what G5 can use. I found this kind of interesting. It's not the most groundbreaking of news, but from my personal standpoint with G5, what I mean by is the quality. What I mean is like the quality of the writing and everything. I have a bit of a problem with G5 when it comes down to the writing, and I feel it does feel there is something that's really kind of stopping them from really kind of making G5 more than what it should be, than it is already, should I say? I feel G5. I think the people behind G5 wanted to make it something grander, because obviously we're still within the universe of the confines of G4, as we know, but it's kind of what's interesting about it is with this article I'm talking about now, is this could possibly be a potential reason or a part of the reason, not necessarily the full reason, but it could partially be a reason why the writing side of G5 seems to lack compared to the quality of the writing to a degree with G4. Is that there seems like there's like an arm wrestle, or there's still like My Little Pony seems to be kind of still owned by certain companies still, which is causing a bit of a problem for them. So let's quickly have a quick read of this then, if you can see it. It says, we are still trying to find a stream. So this information was actually announced or mentioned about at a convention called PonyCon Holland. And it says here, we are still trying to find a stream of the full panel. We are, but a few people that were at the event have confirmed this one. Apparently, over at PonyCon Holland, Gillian Berrow, Beru revealed a very interesting fact about why we might not see a whole lot of crossover between the universe of G4 and G5. Apparently, it all comes down to licensing and usage, which understandable. It says apparently Discovery Family still owns part of Friendship is Magic's show content, which lets them charge fees whenever a G4 pony appears in something like Make Your Mark. Twilight, as a specific example, needs to be paid for whenever she makes an appearance. We will try to dig up the specifics on this one, but for now, it does explain why they seem to light on the throwbacks. It's always a shame when corporate nonsense butts in on creative things. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring this in because I thought this is interesting. So it's looking like Discovery Family is part of the issue as to why they're unable to really go back and kind of bring cameo appearances back, certain characters. So it seems like Discovery Family have the right to essentially get, to have money. It costs them to. I would have thought it would have been. I mean, obviously it's a Hasbro property overall, and I would have thought with Hasbro being the overall property of My Little Pony, because it's their thing, I would have thought like any sort of fees or anything, they had to pay would have been through Make Your Mark with licensing, but it seems Discovery Family still owns is a part owner still for G4. So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention because I thought this was kind of interesting to have a talk about. It's a little bit unfortunate, really. It's a bit unfortunate because I generally think this is the reason why Gen 5. I feel Gen 5 could have been a lot more than what we have and what we've been given. And I think their hands have been tied to what they can actually just go down with, because it's like, for me personally, I would have loved it if they actually somehow come across like old Ponyville or Twilight's Castle, for instance, or they end up going somewhere that looks familiar, that's still there all these years later, because obviously we know G5 is obviously quite a bit in the future compared to the events of G4. There's quite a bit of a time jump, so it would have been something as simple as that, kind of going back and kind of like going on an adventure and somehow stumbling upon somewhere that looks very familiar, where maybe Twilight used to live, or maybe something with Rarity and things like that. So it's a bit unfortunate, really, that it seems that this is potentially the reason why G5 has suffered when it comes to what they can do creatively, which is unfortunate, I think. So then, the next article, which is the main thing I want to talk about, is this. So it is coming up. Yes, it is. So, new teaser for My Little Pony G5 Make Your Mark Chapter 6 arrives, plus screenshots with possible returning G4 character and November 23rd release. Now, I was talking with my fellow co-host Sam last night, and he showed me a picture screen cap that is actually from the episode. Now, I'm assuming this is probably from the special, because it's supposed to be a special 45-minute special plus another 2 or 3 episodes past the special to make up Chapter 6. So I'm assuming what's going on here is actually going to be part of the special of some degree. I assume. I can only speculate that because obviously the episodes haven't been released as of yet, because they're not released until the 23rd of November. So here's some screen caps then of you see Sunny, Zip, and Hitch, the little baby dragon, and you see Sonny is ponying up again, so something is going on here. This video unfortunately has been taken down. It says it's not. This video's so this has been taken down somehow. So I don't know what this was originally, but there is a video clip here that I am going to play and have a look at. So it says Netflix has released a what to watch video for November 2023. And at the end, we have a 6th chapter of My Little Pony Make Your Mark slated for November 23rd. The brief teaser shows off a bunch of interesting things, and included screenshots go even deeper, including a possible G4 character. I'll leave the spoilers for after the page break. So I'm going to play this first, and then we're going to talk about the screen caps afterwards. So no one's watching at the moment, which is fine. So then let's play this.
Here.
Oops. So yeah, it's only 16 seconds. So let's play this right now. Let me get rid of myself so you can actually see it better. Oh, shut the hell up.
Here.
And that's that. So that was literally as quick as you want, as quick as you like. So let's just play it one more time.
Here.
So that's that. So that was literally as quick as you like. Oops, don't want to do that. There we go. So that is very interesting and a little bit concerning, because what I'm going to show you in a minute, hence why I've come back to myself now, is the screen caps past this video in this article. And I'm a little bit concerned. Now, they might have had to do this because of the previous comment of the previous article I just spoke about. They might have maybe had to change his appearance to try and avoid fees, maybe. Or it is just happens to be a character that happens to have the same colour scheme of a certain dragon that we know from G4. And I am a little bit concerned if this is the character I'm thinking of, and most of the fans out there probably are thinking the same thing. This is concerning because he did not look like this at the end. Basically, in G4, by the end of G4, this character looked quite buff and he was real broad, and he generally looked more like he looked completely different to what we've seen in these screen caps. I'm a little bit concerned. So let's go back. Let me bring it back up. So let me go back then. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Here we go. So I've already read that. So we've already played this. So here's the screen caps. So it's looking like we are going to get a fight with Overleen. You see Overleen with the exact similar kind of power to Sunny, where she seems to have translucent wings and horn, or horns lighting up, and she seems to have basically kind of looks like she has a very similar ability going on to Sunny. Then we get a close-up of a couple of the dragons. Now, obviously, this is obviously with what we saw in the previous chapters. In the previous chapter, should I say, chapter 5, the Overleen was going to go to the land of the dragons, and she was going to use the power of the dragons to cause havoc in Maytown Bay or whatever, and cause issues for Sunny and her friends. That was the whole idea by the end of chapter 5. So coming into chapter 6, this is a continuation. The dragons are here. So this is why we have the dragons. Now, personally, I do not like the design of the dragons. I know they do look dragony, but I don't know, just I'm not a big fan of the way the dragons look. That's just my personal opinion. And you can just see that they've gone quite lazy, is that they are practically identical, unless they are supposed to be siblings, these guys, which could make sense. They might be twins, they might be, but if you look at them, they are quite literally exactly the goddamn same within the face, within the design of them. They just made them a different color palette between the two. So, and there are these things going around the legs, slightly different design, but yet they are practically exactly the same character, just doubled up. I know you could argue the fact that all the pony characters are practically modeled after each other, just with a different mane and color scheme, which is true. But this is a very lazy, in my opinion, this is pretty lazy. I really don't like the look of these dragons. And then we come to this. Come on, make a bit bigger. There we go. This. So we have another dragon, which is completely blue. This one, and then we have these two as well. So it looks like we have quite a few. Then we have this dragon with the exact same color palette as Spike. Now, this actually makes absolutely no sense if this is actually Spike. I really hope this isn't Ember with the blue one, because obviously Ember was blue in her color palette. I could be completely wrong; it might not be. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned if this is indeed Spike. What the hell happened? Because Spike did not look anything like this in the final of Friendship is Magic. Spike looked completely different, but they've made him look more like a serpent. They made him look more dragon-like, and I could be completely speaking out of my ass here, and please, people, comment below in the video once I'm no longer live, what you think about this. But I generally am a bit concerned by this, because if this is Spike, which people seem to be assuming is, it can't. I don't know. They have these wristband things going around. It might not mean anything. It might mean something. I don't know. But it's just this dragon having the exact same markings and colours palette as of Spike. Or it could possibly be Spike's child. Maybe an offspring of Spike. Because obviously there has been time, or maybe some sort of lineage going on. So these like the future generation of the dragons, past Spike and everyone. I don't know, but I do know obviously the dragons do have quite a long lifespan. They have a lot longer lifespan compared to the ponies. They can live for quite a long time. So probably in this time period, in Make Your Mark time period, Spike would likely still be alive. Ember might still be alive. Any of the dragon characters that are in Gen 4 should still most likely be alive. But I could be completely speaking out my ass here, and I hope I am wrong. I really do hope I am wrong. If this happens to be Spike, and this character is also going to be potentially could be voiced by Kathy Wesseluk, who was the voice of Spike. If that is the case, or if this is just a completely different character, then if it's a different character, it's not Spike, it's a different character, then I won't have a problem per se once I see the episode or the special or whatever it is. Once I see the episode, and if this ends up being Spike, by the colour palette, I am going to have a problem. Because this is ridiculous. Because they've completely... It's as if they haven't watched anything for G4. And they've gone with this look of the dragons. And Yes, some of the dragons, obviously, some of the dragon characters did look a little bit more serpenty because, if you look at Ember's design, she looked a little bit more like a dragon. And then, obviously, when Spike's a baby, you can tell, obviously, he's got the proportions of a dragon. But when he gets older, he completely looks nothing like a dragon in the same way that dragons have been designed over the years of dragons being about in media and stuff. So if this is Spike, I'm going to have a bit of a problem. So let's move on then with the next screen cap, which is this. So we have all the characters except for Izzy. You can't see Izzy anywhere near. Or Pip either. So Pip's not here either. So yeah, so we have Sunny, Hitch, and Zip. And then we have the potential could be possibly Spike. I think it could be because even if you look at the back of his tail, has this. That's kind of exactly the same design that Spike had in Gen 4 with the back of the top of his tail. And you have this other dragon, which is a different one to what we've seen, and these two. So yeah, I'm a little concerned. Unless something, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. If you notice, obviously his ears, the ears for this Spike as well. If this is Spike, is different to everyone else. It's like this weird, which is kind of, yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit pissed off, to be quite honest. If this is looking much more potentially Spike, and it doesn't really make any sense at all why he looks like this. Unless it is, like I just said previously, with the Discovery family, they probably had to redesign Spike completely from the ground up. I know Gen 5 obviously does have an aesthetic. The aesthetic is different to Gen 4 because it's in 3D and such. And obviously the proportions and everything about the designs of the characters is different compared to Gen 4 in a lot of ways. However, they've literally this makes no sense of why he looks like this. You know what I mean? If that is indeed Spike. So, yeah. So that's that. There is another one. There's another article, which is this one, which is the last one I'm going to talk about in this video. And it says this is a 1 minute clip of Make Your Match Chapter 6. So we now have an actual 1 minute video trailer. So I did a small trailer, which was in the previous little teaser. So now we have a 1 minute teaser. So then let's give this a watch. So basically it says here in the writing, it says Make Your Match Chapter 6 is happening in November. If you missed our dragon-filled announcement about it over here, so yeah, that's what I've literally just shown you. We now have a full 1 minute clip following up on that one to go with it. So here we go. So this is literally up to date as of the 26th of October. So let me just make it bigger, get rid of this. Whoa, shut the hell up. Right, so let me get rid of myself again, and then we'll give this a watch.
Could you turn that down, Pip? I can barely hear myself navigate. What? I can't hear you over this intense music for our trip to the Dragonlands playlist I made.
Thank you.
Hey, I was just trying to keep the mood light. It's so tense in here.
That's because last time we visited the Isle of Scaly, there were no dragons. This time, who knows what we'll find?
I just hope we get there before Opaline.
Sparkler, we have a map situation again.
Step back, dragon magic.
be a hard left. Hold on to your cutie marks.
So there we go. So it's basically just a quick video of them on their way to the Dragonlands. So yeah, so that's that. So nothing really more to really talk about that. So there we go. But yeah, I'm a little concerned, people. I really am, because I mean, some people might comment on this once I'm no longer live, because this is intended as an actual video more than a live stream. But some people might comment and say, I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what your criticisms are. But I mean, Gen 4 for me means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the fans and a lot to a lot of people. And there's probably maybe a reason behind if that character is indeed Spike that I showed you. If that character is indeed Spike, because everything, like the design of the tip of his tail is very similar to him as a baby dragon when he's a bit older. But the design difference between Gen 4 and Gen 5 makes no sense to me. It also kind of goes into the fact of, as well, that when Twilight's in that episode, when she's the holographic projection, they used Twilight before her coronation. So they used the Twilight before the, so it's the Twilight we know, basically, the Twilight that we recognize the most. But then at the end of Gen 4, she looks more like Celestia. So she's like fully grown and she's got the flowy mane and everything. And so she's fully now been sworn in as princess and the ruler of Equestria. And so with that, so whatever happened with this is that, they used Twilight, the model for Twilight in the projection, the message projection that they did in earlier chapters. That was obviously Twilight that we recognize. So they got that right. They got that right with Twilight, but at the same time, it depends exactly when she recorded that as well. Because if that was intended to be a recording from when she was sworn in as princess, like bad near the end of Gen 4, so around about season 8, season 9, that message potentially could have been, because there is a time gap, there is a time jump. Sorry, in season 9, the episode before the final episodes of Friendship is Magic of season 9, when you see them all older, there is a time jump, because you see that Twilight decides to kind of postpone her coronation for a little bit longer so that they can do repairs to Ponyville after what happens and things of that nature. And then the next episode, there's a time jump, so there's been time, so they're all older and everything, and you see Twilight is now looking more like Celestia. So there is a time, there is some time there between that episode where Twilight was Twilight as we know, and her being fully coronated, on her coronation, becoming Twilight as we know at the end of season 9. So that recording potentially could have been in that point of time where she postponed the coronation. It could have been about then, hence why she looks the way she does in the recording. I don't know. But I'm a little bit concerned, people. I just have a bit of concern about if that is indeed Spike. I am a bit concerned because, one, it makes no sense. It just does not make sense of him looking the way he does. If that is indeed Spike, I mean, the way he looks, his color palette, everything like that is exactly Spike's color palette. For all I know, it might not even be Spike. I might be talking out of my ass, like I've already said. And I hope I am wrong with what I say. I hope my assumption is wrong the time the episode comes round. I will be doing a follow-up to this video. I will be doing a full-on thoughts of Chapter 6 as well, once the episodes are out and I've watched them. And we will be coming together for a live stream when those episodes have aired as well. So all three of us will be talking about it. But I'm just a little bit concerned, people, about this. It's just, it doesn't make sense. If that is Spike, that doesn't make sense of him looking the way he does, because at the end of Gen 4, he looks like a, he's real broad and he's real, but the thing is that some people didn't really, I don't know whether they've done this as well, because I do know some fans didn't really like how Spike looked when he was older. They didn't like his design as much. They thought he looked a little bit weird with him being so muscular and broad, not looking really like a dragon. He had a completely different design aspect to the other dragons you see in Friendship is Magic. So maybe that's why they've gone down this road of making him look more like a dragon in Make Your Mark, because it was probably maybe something that fans didn't really like, some fans didn't like, so they decided to redesign him as more of like a serpent kind of dragon. Maybe that's the case, but for me, it don't make sense, because with this being somehow, with Make Your Mark being connected to Gen 4, it doesn't, it doesn't make sense of the drastic character design changes, because it's still within the confines, and it's still within the universe of Friendship is Magic. Make Your Mark is still within the confines, it's still connected. So having a drastic design change like this for Spike, if this is indeed Spike, is concerning. And for me, and I really don't like the design. I personally don't like the design of any of the dragons in this at all. Other people may vary. Of course, everyone's going to have their own opinion on this. But that's the video. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please, by all means, comment below your thoughts. I'm more than willing to have a creative discussion with other people. But I love Friendship is Magic. It does hold a very special place in my heart. And even though I do like Make Your Mark, I do like Make Your Mark, but I have an issue with the writing side of it. And I have I love the songs are fantastic and everything, and I do love Izzy. Izzy's one of my favorite characters, and also Misty. I love Misty. And the whole arc with Misty is really good. But for the most part, I just I just feel like, I don't know. I have a problem with, if this is indeed Spike, I just have a big problem with the design change all of a sudden, because it doesn't make sense, because they've got Twilight perfect, they've got hair pretty much right, and it seemed to connect perfectly, perfectly with how she was designed in that episode of Make Your Mark in earlier chapters. But yeah, it doesn't make sense of having this drastic design change for Spike, because even though, yes, I guess I understand he's a dragon. I do understand he's a dragon, but compared to how he looked at the end of Gen 4, and to where, if this is him in Make Your Mark, what the hell happened to him? What the hell happened to him to change him so much? I don't know. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's been my thoughts on the new the new information and teasers and things that have been released for Make Your Mark Chapter 6, coming out on 23rd of November 2023. So thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned. We'll, all three of us, me, Sam and Lawrence, will be coming together for a live stream on Friday coming. So we'll probably talk about this between all three of us as well, and whatever else we want to talk about. and yeah, and more videos coming. So we will be obviously, once the episodes have come out for chapter 6, we will probably be doing we will do like an end of Gen 5 kind of live stream as well, and we will talk about the episodes. And yeah, so there's plenty of videos and stuff coming to you to enjoy. So please, by all means, comment below what you think about this, what your thoughts are on the character designs of the dragons, and if you believe that is Spike, or it could be some sort of descendant of Spike, maybe his child, and that maybe that character just happens to have the same kind of color scheme as Spike, but it's maybe not Spike. I really hope I am wrong with my assumption. I am very, very happy to be proven wrong, but we will find out when the episodes go up on the 23rd of November. So here we go. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support on the channel. And we'll be back very soon with more live streams and videos very soon. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.